Hello, good afternoon everyone. Now, in this lecture, we are going to perform our next practice session. Hope you all have seen all the videos in the playlist. I also have mentioned the playlist link in the description box of the previous video. Hope you have seen all the videos and the practice session 1. Now, this is our practice session, and in this session, we are going to discuss some questions that were remaining of some topics. Like in this lecture, we are going to discuss our comprehension, which are of three types: list, set, and dictionary comprehensions. Which we are going to discuss in this lecture, and we are also going to discuss some questions on file handling. Like I have told you that we are going to discuss some questions of file handling. So this lecture is very impactful for all of you guys, and hope you all have seen the previous video, and then you have came to this video. So I promise that this lecture would be beneficial to all of you, and also I hope that you all are practicing side by side of the questions. And if any one of you have not subscribed to my channel till now, please subscribe, because all of the Python videos and topics are gonna discuss here on this channel only, and you are going to get an exclusive content without any doubt. So without any hesitation, we are moving to our next practice session. That is our practice session 2, which is our last session uh, of our Python playlist, and also our last video of Python. So, before moving forward, thanks for all of your support. This means a lot to me, and uh, I it wouldn't be possible without you guys. You guys have supported so much. Uh, It's your motivation that I am continuing till now. This is almost our, I guess, ninth lecture, and I'm continuing till now because of all of your guys' motivation. So once again, thank you for all your support. And I hope you didn't, any one of you haven't any doubt in any topic. Uh, And so once again, thanks. And we are now moving towards our practice session 2. So let me make a file first. Practice2.py. I am naming it. And in this, we are going to discuss comprehensions. Now, why we are using comprehensions? What is comprehensions? So now, suppose I have to print number from 1 to 10 and put it in a list. So what simply I can do is, in normal method, I can create a list, and suppose our list is empty initially. Now I would be using my for loop for I in range. Now suppose I have to print from numbers from 1 to 10. So I would be writing 1 to 11 here. Now I would be appending my list. So list dot append I, and after that I would be printing my list. Now if I save it and try to run, let me see the output. Now you can see we are getting a list that is from numbers 1 to 10. Now suppose I have to do the same task in only one line. We can do with the help of list comprehensions. So how can we do it with the help of list comprehensions? So our next topic is list comprehensions. Now List comprehension is basically we are performing all the things in one single task. Now suppose I have a list L1. So what do we write to print numbers from 1 to 10? Let me mark a topic as well. We are printing numbers from 1 to 10. Now we would be first uh, iterating over our numbers. So I would write I for I in range. What is the range? 1 to 11. Now I'm just going to simply print my list and see what is our output. So we are getting the same result, that is 1 to 10 numbers in a list. Now what we have done here is we have first used our I, that is our iterator, which would iterate over the range 1 to 11 and it would simply print our list then. So this was how we can simply with the help of one line print our list. Now let me do some more questions on list comprehension. So I would create a list of squares from 1 to 10. Now, what we are gonna do in this case is we are creating a list that would print squares of all the numbers from 1 to 10. So I would create a list and iterate over the list. Now I have to print square. So in I would be printing the square of I. That is I into I can write for I in range. Now what is our range? Our range is 1 to 11. Now what I have done is I am iterating over the range first with the help of iterator I. Now I have to print square, so I simply write I square and after that the same process of iterating over some numbers. So we have to print square from number 1 to 10. So I have written 1 to 11 as we all know why I have written 1 to 11. So if I print now, if I print my list now, the output you can see is coming out to be the square of each number. Like 1 square is 1, 2 square 4, 3 square 9, 4 square 16 up to 10 square that is 100. So like in this case, we can print the squares of numbers from 1 to 10 with the help of list comprehensions in a single line. Now, this was the case of how to print the squares. Now, our next question would be similarly, we can create a list of cubes as well from 1 to 10. List of cubes from 1 to 10. Now, in the earlier case, we have printed squares. Now we are printing cube for also that we can create a list and iterate over that list. Now we have to uh, print our square, sorry cube. So I would be simply writing the cube for I in range 1 to 11. Now if I print my L1. Now we know that we use double asterisk to put the power in square. So I have put the power in the higher power and after that I have written 3 so that it can cube our value. Now if I try to print, you can see we are getting the cube of each numbers from 1 to 10. 1 cube is 1, 2 cube 8, 3 cube 27, 4 cube 64, 5 cube 125 and 10 cube that is 1000 up to 10 cube. So this was how can we create a list of cubes from 1 to 10. Now you have seen how easy is to print with the help of list comprehension. Uh, we don't have to write a lot of lines of code. But now, what is the benefit of list comprehension? It reduces the readability of the code. Sorry, it reduces the complexity of the code, and also our code is easy to read. So anyone who is reading our code can simply read it and understand it by just reading it to 1 to 2 times. So this is the benefit of comprehensions. And another question I can print is create a list that contains odd numbers from 1 to 50. Now we have to create a list in such a manner from 1 to 50 numbers that we get only odd numbers like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. We get only odd numbers. So I can create simply a list, and in that list I can write I for I in range. Now we have to print only odd numbers. So I don't want I to perform any task. So that I have written I for I in range, that our range would be 1 to 51 because our end index is not included. So, and after that I know I have to print only odd numbers. So we all know that if I want to print odd numbers, so we know what is the speciality of odd numbers. It is not divisible by 2. So basically our iterator would not be divisible by 2. Then only it would print odd numbers. So I can write after that if I modulo 2 not equal to 0. So now why have written our if condition in this list? Because we have to print only odd numbers. Now to print odd numbers, we can simply write if our I is not divisible by 2. So now if I print my list and save, now you can see we are getting a list which contains only odd numbers like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 up to 49. Now why it hasn't included 51 or 50? Because 50 is an even number and we have iterate our loop till 51. So end index is not included. So that's why it is only giving the answer until 49. So this was another case. Now there is one more example. Now we are taking an example in reference to string values. So my question is convert all string to in a list to uppercase. Now understand this question very carefully. What the question is trying to say is that suppose we are inputting a string from our user. Now, if the characters of the string are in lowercase, we have to convert all the characters of the string in uppercase. So, and we have to store them in a list. Once again, I am repeating. If we are having a string which we are taking input from our user. Now, if all the characters of our string are in lowercase, uh, then we have to convert all them in uppercase and also print them in string format. Sorry, list, and print all of them in list. So I am taking a string as input from the user. So I am inputting a string. Now after that I am taking a list because at last we have to store the uppercase characters in a list. So I would write I for I in string. Now we are iterating over the string. So I would write I for I in string because we are iterating of in our string of and we are iterating over each and every character of the string. So I would write I for I in string Now, I have already discussed how to convert characters to uppercase in our string methods. I hope you have seen that video and you clearly remember how to convert all the characters to uppercase. So I would write I for I in string if okay. So in this case we have to perform some task with the help of I. So I would write I dot upper because we want to return each character into uppercase as upper is suggesting return a copy of the string converted to uppercase. So because we have to do some task with the help of I, so I'm writing I. So I dot upper for I in string. So now each character would be in uppercase. So if I print my list and save my program, suppose I enter a string in lowercase, that is code, okay, that is code with Pranav. Now each and every character is in lowercase. You can see. Now if I print it, you can see each and every character is converted to uppercase and also it is in a list format separated by commas. Basically, it is splitting our data. Like we have used our method dot split in our method cases in strings or list, I guess. So hope you remember that method dot split method that it is performing here. So now we have also seen we have seen some of the cases or some of the questions of list comprehension. Basically, in your college exams or your school exams, you will encounter such questions. There wouldn't be any different questions. Just the logic is remaining the same in all of the question. Like you can see, if we are printing square, we have the same logic and also cube and odd numbers. Our logic is same. Just the syntax changes a little bit. So if you do practice side by side, you can easily grab these concepts. These are very small concepts. So, and these and questions of these concepts are very important in college exams, especially. So, our next topic is set comprehension. Set comprehension also works the same. It also have the same syntax. So, suppose I have a set and I want to print uh, the square of even numbers that are present in the set, and if there are some odd numbers in the set, I would be printing their cube. So I am writing my question for your ease. If an even number is present in the set, print its square, and if an odd number is present, odd number is present in the set, print its cube. So basically, I think you have understood the question, but still I am repeating it. If suppose we have a set, and if any even number is present in the set, uh, you can print. Sorry. If any even number is present in the set, you have to print its square, and if an odd number is present in the set, print its cube. So now we can take a set S. Now for set we know we use curly braces. So and for list comprehension or list we use our square brackets. So now we have to check whether an even number is present or not. So for that I would write I into I. Now we are squaring. Why? Because we have to check whether a even number is present or not. So I into I, if our I modulo 2 equals to 0. Okay, so what we have done for even numbers, we know I modulo 2 would be 0. So we are printing it square, and we are in else case we would write I into 3. Basically we are cubing our I. Uh, okay. So if our I modulo 2 is 0, it would square, else it would cube for I in range. Now we can give any range like in other examples. So I'm giving it to 1 to 11. So basically it would print from 1 to 10. Means if there is any even number present in 1 to 10, it would print its square, else it would print else it would print its cube. So now what we have done, I am explaining again. If our I modulo 2 is 0, we are squaring our I, and as we are cubing our I. So now I would simply print my set, and after saving this, if I try to run, okay, now why the values are not in an ordered manner? Because we have not sorted our set. So for sorting our set, we know we use our sorted method. So I would write sorted S. I forgot to mention one thing, that if you don't use sorted before printing our set, it would return uh, unordered values, because we have discussed already that set is a collection of unordered values. So it is not an ordered pair like dictionary. So we have to use our sorted keyword so that all the values are sorted. Now if I save this and try to run, now you can see we are getting it in a proper manner, and the answer would be in list. So because we are sorting it. So now 1 is our odd number. So the cube of 1 is 1. Now 2 is our even number. So it is printing square, that is 4. Now 3. 3 is our, so basically it has printed 4 earlier than 3. So if I take the case of 4, 4 is an even number. So it has printed square, that is 16. 3 is an odd number. So it has printed its cube, that is 36. And for 5, it has printed. So basically what it has done is, for some values it has printed in squares, or for some values it has printed in you can say cubes, but you will get the correct answer for each and every value. You can also check it, but the order is not still uh, clear. Basically means I want to say that our order is not sorted. After using sorted, I guess there is some issue from backend, but it has done the task desiredly. Like you can see, for 2, which is an even number, it is printing square 4. For 4, which is an even number, it has printed square 16. For 3, which is an odd number, it has printed cube, that is 27. For 6, it has printed square 36. For 5, it has printed cube 125. So like in this way, it has printed correct values, but the order is still not sorted because some of the issues from the backend. Now, our next question is, create a set containing vowels from a string. So we are creating a set which contains vowels only. So now what we are going to do is, we are creating a set that has only vowels in it. So Now how can we perform it? Suppose I have a set. Okay, so I am doing it with the help of list comprehension. So I would write character for character in uh, so I would write so I am taking a string basically so I can do it more efficiently. I am inputting a string. So character for character in string. If character in string, sorry, if character in A, E, I, O, U. Now we are printing our set. Now what we have done is, first we have taken an input. Uh, I am taking all the values of the string in lower case because our vowels are in lower. So now what we have done is, we have taken a string, inputting it from our user. Uh, Now what is the string doing? So basically we are taking string as input from the user. Now I am iterating over the string like I have written character for character in string. Now what would if it print if character in AIOU? Now we know vowels are A, E, I, O, U. So if there is any character in A, E, I, O, U, it would print our set. So now if I save this and try to run, suppose I have a string A I G T E. Now if I print, now we are getting all the vowels. That is E, which is present in our string, I, which is also present, and A, which is also present. So with the help of you can say set comprehension, we can also print these things. So this was some questions on the basis of set comprehensions. Now we would be discussing some questions on our dictionary comprehension, sorry. So now we are gonna do the same question with the help of dictionary comprehension. Now what is the question? Question is create a dictionary from numbers 1 to 10, from numbers 1 to 10, and print their squares and cube. And now, what do you mean by this question? This question we have already discussed, I guess, with the help of list comprehension. So, any number which come in the range 1 to 10, we would be printing its square and cube with the help of dictionary comprehension. Now we know dictionary is also enclosed in curly braces. So we would be using curly braces for comprehension of dictionary like we have used in set comprehension. Now one thing that it separates from our set comprehension is that in dictionary we use key value pairs. So when I print my dictionary comprehension, I first use my curly braces. Now after that I would be using our, you can say, key value pair. So now for first we write our key, that is num. So I would now write num into num because we are printing the square. So I would, after that I would write for num in range. 1 to 11. Now what we have done is this num before our semicolon is our key and the num into num is our value. So it would respond with corresponding key value pair. Now we have after the semicolon we have done the same thing that we are doing till now in our list and set comprehensions. So first it would print the key then value. So it would print it in key value pairs. So num into num for num in range 1 to 11. Now we would print our dictionary. Now after saving it, when I try to run it, you can see first we are getting our key that is 1 because we are printing from 1 to 10, and after that it's square that is 1. After that key 2, value 4, key 3, value 9. We are getting our uh, key as well as value, and value is getting scared because of num into num. Now if I have to print the cube of the same thing, I would print another dictionary and enclose it in our curly braces. Now first I will use my key, then my value. Value is I want to scare it. So I'm scaring it for num in range. So what would be our range 1 to 11? The same range. Now I would simply print my dictionary. It would give me key value pair, but my value would now. So we were doing our dictionary comprehensions in which we were cubing the values. Uh, Now if I try to save and run it, now when I'm running it, we are getting the key value pair in cubing format. Now you can see first we are getting our key that is 1 and the cube of 1 is also 1. Now we are getting another key that is 2 and we are getting its cube 8. Like in this way we would be printing the cube of each and every number in our key value pairs. Now we have seen a lot of questions of dictionary set and list comprehensions. These questions are more than enough for your college exams or your school exams because these are some basics. The logic we have already discussed earlier, but it was all about the syntaxes. Now, like we have done so many questions, I don't think so. We have you guys have any doubt in these three topics. Now we would be discussing some of the questions of our file handling. Uh, which I have said we would be discussing. So I am writing my next topic that is file handling. So for that we have a file already. Let me just remove all the contents of this file. Now, so our first question is count the number of lines present in a file. So we have to count the number of lines which are present in a file. So for that, I would be writing some lines in my file before that, uh, applying the code. So this is my file. Now I'm writing some lines randomly. So I can I'm writing like this, hello Python. Uh, Today we are practicing our comprehension and file handling questions. Now we are making another line. In that I can write my name is Pranav. Like this I have made some few lines. Now if I try to I my what my question is saying is that count the number of lines that are present in a file. So for that I would make a variable which is file, and first of all I will open my file. Now what is my file name? That is file name .txt. Now, in the other parameter, I know we have to write the mode in which we want to open the file. Now we have to just count the number of lines so we can open it in our reading mode. So I would write read mode. Now after that I would read the contents of a file. So I would save it in a data in a variable. Sorry. So I would read the contents. After that, after reading my contents of the file, I would make a variable count and initialize it to 0 initially. Why? Why we have uh, make a variable count and has initialized it the value 0, because we have to count the number of lines present in a file. So initially our count of lines is 0, so we are making this variable to count the number of lines as we are reading the line step by step. So for reading each and every line, we would make use of our for loop, because it would iterate over each and every line. So I would write for line in uh, you can say data. After that, when we are reading the line in our file, I would count. I would you can say increment my count. Why? Because as soon as we are reading our lines in data, it would count. Suppose we have read this line, hello Python. Now, when it would move to the next line, so it would print count as 1. So it is incrementing my value. So now after that I can print my count, and after that I can close my file. So for that we have seen we use file dot close. Now for that first I have to save it, and if I try to run, now it is giving me some error. Let me check why it is giving me some error. I don't think so. I think we don't have the need of this line because it is already you can say reading the data from our file. Now if I try to print it, let's see after saving it. So we are getting basically two lines. Now what error we are getting? Okay, so I am saving my file name.txt file as well, and also this file. Now if I try to print, we are getting three lines. Now why were we getting error? Was the fact that first of all it was reading by default in our mode method, so we don't have to write file.read. And the other case was that we have not saved our file in the file name.txt file. So now we are getting three lines total, and also when we check, we are having three lines. So this was the case of how to count the number of lines in a file. Now, what is our next question? So our next question is count the number of words in a file. So I am again remembering you that these are some of the important questions and can be asked in exams. So count the number of words in a file. So we have to count the number of words in a file. So for that we would make use of our file. We would use same file. So I would write first our file name. First I would open my file, uh, and in the first parameter I would write my file name, that is file name.txt. And now we are counting the number of words, so simply I can write read mode because we are going to read our file. Now after that, what we are gonna do, we are gonna split the words. Now why we are splitting the words? Because we are gonna split the words because of our because if we split our words, it would be easier to read, to count the number of words. So because it would be in dictionary format, so it would be easy to count the number of words in a file. So in this, we have to read the file as well because we are counting the number of words. So this thing you have to keep in mind. So I would make a data variable and read my file. Now we have to split the words. So I would make a variable words and split my data because it is reading the contents of my file. Now I have to count the number of words. So I would be iterating over each and every word. So I would write for word in words because we are iterating over each and every words. Now after that, what we are gonna do, we are gonna basically, okay, so wait a second. I guess I have done some mistake. What mistake I have done? So okay, we have not make our count variable to count the number of words. So now if I try to run it, first I would write our code. So now I forgot to basically count the number of words. So for that I have make a count variable. Now I would print, so for counting the words I would write length of words. Now if I save this and save my this file, if I try to run this, I am getting 16 words. So what I have done is, you can say, first we have opened our file in read mode. Then we are reading the data by using our dot read method. Why we have used dot read method in this? It is due to the fact that we are basically, you can say, uh, basically we want to read the number of words. So for words, we have to read our particular words. So we have used our read method. Now in our previous case where we have to find the number of lines, count the number of lines. So we don't have to read each and every word. So we don't have used our dot read method. But in this case, we would read our each and every word. Now we have split the word. Why we have split the words? It is due to the fact that after separating each and every word, it would become easier to count. So for that, I have used our count variable. And when we are iterating over our words, so we would increment our count as well, like in the previous case. And after that, we would print the length of the words, which makes easy, uh, like we have discussed in our string methods or other methods. Now, if I try to see how many words are there, so we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we are getting 16 words and our output is also 16 as it is mentioned here. So this was the concept of how to count the number of words in a file. Now, what our next question is, write a program to display only those lines which contain the word Python. So now I have to write a program which sorry, I have to write a program to display only those lines we have to display which contain the word Python. So only those lines we have to display which contain the word Python. So first of all, I have this uh, uh, you can say text file. So I write Python in some more lines. I can write Python is a high level language. Okay, so one more thing I can write, Python is a simple language. So I have write some more lines in which Python word is used. So I have to write a program to display only those lines which contain the word Python. So first I will write my file and open my file. Our file name is filename.txt and we are opening it in a read mode. So after that we would read our file. After that we would make a count variable to count how many times the Python word is used. So when I am writing my count as 0, initializing it as 0. Now after this we would be using our for loop for iterating over the file. So I would write for line in data. Okay, so now we are iterating over file. Now we have to see whether Python is present or not. So in our for loop, I would be using our conditional statement if. Now why I'm using if? Because we have, and when we are iterating over each and every word in the file, we are checking whether the Python word is present or not. So we are applying a condition. So I would write if Python in, Python in, you can say I would write for line in data. If Python in line, our count would be included. So count would be included, and at the end we are printing the count. Now first I would save this file, our file name.txt, and also this file. Now if I try to print, now why it is giving me error? If I try to change this, I'm not getting why we are not. able to print this thing. If I try to print here, okay, so we are not getting why the output is not coming. So we are leaving this question for now. We are moving to our next question, in which we are gonna discuss. Uh, we are checking how many characters are uppercase and how many characters are lowercase. So for that, I would add some uppercase characters to my file. I would remove all this data. So first I would write hello Python and some lowercase data. Hello world, how are you? I'm writing some random data. My name is Pranav. Now we are checking how many uppercase characters and how many lowercase characters are present in our file. So for that, I have I'm literally sorry. So for that we have used some uppercase and lowercase in our text file. So I am saving it, and first of all I would open my file with the file name, and I would open it in my read mode. After that, reading my file. After that, I have read my file. I would make a uppercase and give it a value 0 and lowercase and give it a value 0. Now why we have make two variables uppercase and lowercase and have given values 0 to both of them initially? Because we have to count how many characters are uppercase and how many are lowercase. So initially, like we have given count as 0, we have similarly given both of them as 0. So after that we can find and update their values. So I would also be reading my file. So I would write like this file dot read. So now I would iterate over my file. Okay, so for a second, just wait. So I'm writing full line in data. So now when I'm iterating over my file, now I would mark a condition. Now if I want to check whether a character is uppercase or lowercase, so we know it is a condition. So we would be using our if for condition, and after that I would write if line dot upper. So it means if our line is upper, okay. So if our line is upper, so we are checking it. So I would write is upper. So it would check. So it would check if line is upper. It would update the uppercase. So uppercase would be updated and incremented. As Elif, we can use Elif line dot is lower. If line has lower characters, all of the characters are lower. then lowercase would be updated. So now at last I would print my uppercase as well as lowercase. So I would write uppercase and print lowercase. And at the end I would be closing my file. Now if I first save it and then try to run. Okay, so we are getting 19 uppercase letters and 25 lowercase letters. So so I guess we have not saved our data, that's why it is giving this error. Okay, so basically there are 19 uppercase and 25 lowercase uh, letters in our data. So this was the case of how can we find uppercase and lowercase. Now, if we see this problem where we have to find the word Python. Now if I see this question, you can I think the mistake I have done was I didn't close my file. So if I write file.close and I would update all the values in this for like I suppose I am writing again hello Python, my name is Ranav. I, I am currently teaching Python. So if I save this and also save this data and try to run, now see how many times I get Python. Now still it is giving me error. Basically I'm not reading my file, that's why it is giving me error. So the now if I try, okay, so what is the error coming out? Yeah. Now if I try to run, so we are not getting the correct answer to this question. So I'm leaving this question for now. We would be checking our next question. That is, how can we see? Hmm, okay, now we would be doing some questions of our next topic, which is if and except try except blocks, which behaves the same as if else blocks. So we would be doing some more questions of that. Now we have done their basic questions of try except blocks. Now I would be uh, doing some more questions of try except blocks. So for that, first of all, I would make a try case in which I would be giving values. I am getting num1, I'm getting num1 as input, enter number 1. and number 2. And number 2. Now, what so basically we have seen these questions as well. So there aren't many questions left now. I have written questions on my notebook, so I am checking. Just give me a minute. If I find any question, I would be discussing now. So yes, we have been done with all the questions, probably. And if you find any doubt in any question, you can just ask me in the comment section. So for now, we are done with all our practice problems and everything. So this journey was beautiful with you, and hope you also enjoyed this journey, and hope you have uh, been seeing all the videos till now, excluding this video. Uh, so thanks for now, and thanks for your support as well. And if you find any topic difficult, you can simply tell me in the comment section. I would be replying and would be solving all your doubts. Also, if you tell me, I can make a doubt session of all your doubts. You can simply just comment your doubts in the comment section, and I would be discussing all of them in a separate video. Uh, so thanks for now, and thanks for your support.